Ron done a research.
But they're trying to commute, they're going for a purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, don't listen to him. He can't even park right.
Like we said last week.
Alright.
Well, you took 1 1/3.
So low in this area.
He messed up 2 spots.
No,
I need to learn to gavel harder. Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Everyone is, except Mr. Wilkinson, Mr. John Wilkinson, he said he wouldn't be here, so we have 4 members present.
Okay. And I need a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So we have one item on the agenda tonight. It's Donnie Eden request for a duplex on Hamlet Road, and I know we've got some people signed up. So we're going to open the public meeting. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And
who's your first one?
first one is Stephen and Bobby Link. Are y'all both speaking or one?
Just me.
Okay. And you are?
I'm Stephen.
Okay.
So I'm speaking for my dad tonight. He's a property owner adjacent to this property in question, and has been since the 1960s. You all may be aware, I'll give you this just to glance at. It's very small print. I didn't have much time to review that since we only got the notice yesterday. But this subdivision was established and formed and made by my grandfather, Mr. Elmer Lee, and it is actually a subdivision. It is entitled the New Frontier Subdivision, and he has 11 restrictions on this that were put into place and filed in the deed book in Robertson County in August of 1961. These restrictions are in force for 99 years. One of his wishes, I know for a fact, was that all of these homes on this street, and he owned all of the lots on this street and sold them to be single-family dwellings, and not multiple family dwellings or not high-density dwellings, which they didn't even know about in 1961, but they were, he did mean for this road and all of these lots here, they have certain setbacks, they have certain materials that the houses need to be constructed of. He had to approve all of the plans that went into the construction of all the houses on this street. And like I said, there are 11 specific restrictions that indicate setbacks, that they must be connected to city utilities, so forth and so on. The deed book that's recorded in is 128, page 147. So we are in opposition to this house becoming a duplex just because my dad feels that it'll be an annoyance or a nuisance to him, and that it will devalue some of the neighboring homes. I feel that that's probably the case, and once, because this street now is strictly R20, the surrounding neighborhoods are all R20. There are no duplexes anywhere near this property. There are no duplexes on this street. There's not even any duplexes on the half a dozen adjoining streets. So I think that if you start this, others will follow. And that being said, this is an older neighborhood. The houses are 50 years old, some of them maybe 40. But it's an established neighborhood. It's a quiet neighborhood. It adjoins the city park, which is a positive thing. And I think that putting a duplex in here is going to decrease some of the property values. The other thing that I'm sure you guys are aware of is that when you when you rezone into higher density, especially just an established single-family home, you're doubling the use of the roads, you're doubling the use of city services, but you're not increasing the income to the city. There's no increase in property taxes as a result of that. So my opinion about that is, the city's gonna be out for more services. Yeah, there may be minor, but, I don't feel like I don't think that's a good thing for this neighborhood. And my dad agrees, he doesn't want this as an owner of the adjoining property. He does not really want a duplex in there. He would rather see that remain a single-family home. Okay?
They join.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you, Mr. Lane.
Does anybody have any questions for me? Okay, thank you.
And Linda Silver?
Here I am. I don't live near the property. I am a little bit concerned about, putting a duplex in the middle of a residential subdivision. I don't know if this is a formality or what, but the property is currently listed on several real estate sites for, well, here are the details. We'll be renting out the home as it is now, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, which is what it sold for in October of 2022, for $1950. However, once the basement is finished in a couple of months, the full rent will jump to $3,460. Whether that is you having an extended family move in, your friends, or roommates you find at work, at school, work or school. I'll just settle down. This is very near and dear to my heart. I believe that our homes are sacred. I believe that they should be protected by the government of the city. The current owner is suggesting, and this is part of the ad, that this could be an opportunity for you as well, to make some extra money. From the house you're living in, you just rent rooms out. Charge anything you want, and what you make above what I'm charging you is your profit. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you could rent this house for $3,460. You could rent it out to 6 of your buddies and charge them $575, and you're clear. Or maybe you could rent it for $750 and make some money. I just don't think this is something that we need to put into a residential area. I'm wondering, you know, as the economy perhaps slows down, how desperate someone's going to be to rent a property for $3,460. As I said earlier, it had sold as a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath house on 0.93 acres. The listing has it as 6 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and now we're sitting on an acre. Now the acre is a point of discussion because in the city of White House, duplexes on lots over 1 acre with no future subdivision of said lot. That is the R20 low density special exception. This property does not qualify for a special exception. It's not sitting on an acre of land. Now, if we're going to start making exceptions to the exceptions in order to allow a duplex to be set inside of a subdivision, my property is probably 0.93 acres, so maybe I should just break up my house and start renting it. It's not what we want in White House. We've got plenty of houses being built. We've got rental units. We have apartments. We have investors coming in and renting houses. I have nothing against the current owner. I just do not believe that this is something that White House should start, because once it starts, you guys are not going to be able to stop it. Anyone who wants to do it is going to, because you can't tell them no, because you've already said yes. That's just my opinion. I'm not legal advice or anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, we're gonna close the public hearing, and you just, okay.
I was just gonna make some comments and give some background. We knew in the building, planning and building department that the applicant had it listed. He followed the steps. He probably, I assume he bought the property, listed it, and then realized, I gotta get a building permit. So that's when our building inspector went out and said, whoa, we got a procedure, a process we have to follow before you can follow through with that. And so that was the catch-all, because we have this BZA procedure in place to be able to move forward. So you did obtain a permit just for remodeling, not for duplex purposes, but it was some work being done in the house. But again, this procedure that we have in the special exception, and it was under an acre, which, he took, I think he went out and did a measurement. It wasn't an official survey, but, he went out and did an acre, but told him it was his right as an applicant to apply and approach the board. So that's how we got here. And I emailed you guys, and I put the procedures that we follow. As Ms. Silver said, under R20, over an acre, it is permitted as a special exception. You get approval for special exception if it meets the criteria. And I put in your package in front of you what you're looking at to approve the special exception, the procedure.
Any questions, any discussion? I just wanna say, I did class this out from the legal, and it is actually a smidge under .93, but it's still under acre. My only thought is that it doesn't really meet the criteria for special exception. That's just my thought, but.
I make a motion, we deny it based on the fact it doesn't meet the minimum standards, as it's not over an acre. I think it will have an adverse effect on some of the other properties in the area, and I think there are some issues with the egress and ingress.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. And we just need one more motion.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Maybe that was premature.
No. I'll wait till y'all adjourn.
Okay.
Y'all adjourn?
We're adjourned.
I just wanted to comment on